Determine the total number of chlorine atoms in 125 milliliters of liquid, CCl4, density which is given, and the number of grams of carbon in 215 grams of sucrose, the formula which is given. Right, so the first thing is to take 125 milliliters of CCl4. Then we need to get rid of milliliters, right? So 1 milliliter of CCl4 takes 1.58 grams of CCl4. We know that from the conversion using the density, right? And this way we get rid of the milliliters. We already convert to grams. Now we will need to get rid of the grams, right? So we will we'll have to determine the number of grams per 1 mole of CCl4, right? So 1 mole CCl4, and to find that you use the periodic table. You take the mass, atomic mass of C, right, which is going to be 12.011 grams per mole, right? And then you add that to 4 times the atomic mass of the chlorine, right? And that's chlorine is going to be 35.4527. So when you do 4 times the atomic mass of chlorine and plus the atomic mass of carbon using the periodic table, you will get this result in your calculator: 153.8218 grams of CCl4. And that's the molar mass, right, of CCl4. That's why we're writing 1 mole on the top, right? 1 mole of CCl4 takes 153.8218 grams. Now we know that in each mole of CCl4 we will have 4 moles of chlorine, right, using the subscript here, right? And now finally we'll make the conversion between moles and grams, because we need to find the number of grams of chlorine, right, the Cl right here, right? So in 1 mole of chlorine, using the periodic table again, you will have no, I'm sorry, we're not finding the grams, I'm sorry, we're finding the atoms, right? We're finding the atoms of chlorine, right? So in 1 mole of chlorine we will have 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of chlorine, right? And this is the Avogadro's number. So as you can see, everything is conveniently cancelled out. The milliliters, that is, right? No, what am I doing? The milliliters are cancelled out, the grams are cancelled out, the moles of CCl4, the moles of Cl, and finally the atoms remain, right? And if you use the calculator correctly, you should get 3.11 times 10 to the 24th Cl atoms. Now part B, we need to find the number of grams of carbon. So we take 215 grams of sucrose. Then we know that we have to find the number of grams in 1 mole of sucrose, right? So 1 mole of sucrose, using the periodic table, we'll have to take 12 times the atomic mass of carbon plus the 22 times the atomic mass of hydrogen plus 11 times the atomic mass of oxygen, right? So when you do that using the periodic table, you will get this in your calculator: 342.30008 grams of sucrose. Now So you've converted to moles of sucrose, right? Now you know that because you have to find the number of grams of carbon only, right? So you have to find the number of moles of carbon in 1 mole of sucrose, right? So 1 mole of sucrose has 12 moles of carbon, right? Using the subscript here, you know that 12 moles of carbon are inside 1 mole of sucrose. Now you simply convert from moles of carbon to grams, right? So you know in 1 mole of carbon, using the periodic table, there is 12.011 grams of carbon, right? So as you can see, everything is conveniently cancelled out. The grams are gone. The moles of sucrose are gone, the moles of carbon are gone, the grams of carbon remain, right? So if you do this in your calculator correctly, you should get 90.5 grams of carbon. Hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.